Dear students, in the present class we shall discuss about some commercially important alcohols. Means in our daily life or in some chemical industries or in the chemical laboratories we use some of the alcohols regularly, such as first one is methanol. First one is methanol. And its formula is CH3OH. Okay. It is also called as wood spirit. It is also called as wood spirit. Why it is called as wood spirit? Because it can be extracted from destructive distillation of wood. So, what is the synthetic method for the methanol? One is destructive distillation of wood. The first method of extracting the methanol is destructive distillation of wood. Okay, and the wood being destructed and distillated at high temperatures, then you will get the methanol as the product. Okay, and there is another method, that is catalytic hydrogenation of carbon monoxide. Okay, what is the second method? Catalytic catalytic hydrogenation of catalytic hydrogenation of carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide. About this method we shall discuss. Okay, let's take a syngas. What is syngas? It is a mixture of carbon monoxide and H2 gas. Here, let's take 1 mole of carbon monoxide and 2 moles of hydrogen. Okay. However, this mixture is called as a syngas. Is called as a syngas. Okay. Yes, when this mixture is allowed to pass over a catalyst, that is a mixture of zinc oxide and chromium oxide at high pressure. For example, it is about 200 to 300 atm pressure. Okay, and at high temperature, that is 300 to 400 degree Celsius. At this high temperature, these carbon monoxide and H2 combines to give CH3OH. This is called methanol. This is called methanol. So, this is the method of preparation of methanol from the syngas. Okay, what is the oxidizing agent? Or what is the catalyst we are going to use? The zinc oxide and chromium oxide at high temperatures and pressures. Okay, here this method is called as hydrogenation of carbon monoxide, because you are going to add the hydrogens to the carbon monoxide. Okay, yes, it is all about the preparation. Now we shall discuss about the physical properties of this methanol. Okay, the methanol is a colorless liquid with significant odor. Okay, and whose boiling point is 64 degrees Celsius. 64 degrees Celsius. Okay, and what are the advantages of this methanol? Methanol is used as a solvent in paint industries. Okay, and the methanol is also used to prepare some other organic compounds like formaldehyde and higher members of the aldehydes, carboxylic acids, etc. Okay, and what are the disadvantages of this methanol? When methanol is ingested into our body, if little quantity of methanol is ingested into our body, it can cause blindness. Okay, if ingested or taken in a high quantity of methanol, it may also lead to death of a person. Okay, and here the methanol is a poisonous one. Methanol is a poisonous one. If a little quantity is taken into our body, it causes the blindness, and if a high quantity is taken into our body, then it leads to the death of a person. Now we shall discuss about the another important alcohol, that is ethanol. Here, first we shall discuss about the preparation of ethanol by anaerobic fermentation. Okay, by anaerobic fermentation. Preparation of ethanol by anaerobic fermentation. So you know that what is meant by this anaerobic fermentation. Okay, let us consider, take sugar from the molasses, sugarcane or grape juices. Okay, when the enzyme invertase come into contact with the sugar, it may be sucrose. Okay, which is present in the molasses, sugarcane and grape juices. Okay, when the enzyme invertase come into action with the sucrose, it breaks this sucrose molecule into two units, that is glucose and fructose. Glucose and fructose. Here there is another enzyme called zymase, which acts on the monomeric units, that is glucose or fructose. It acts on these units. The enzyme zymase acts on these units to give 2 moles of ethyl alcohol. 2 moles of ethyl alcohol, we can call it as ethanol. Okay, with the release of carbon dioxide gas. This process, that is action of zymase on this glucose or fructose, takes place in the absence of air. Okay, that is why it is called as anaerobic fermentation. This process takes place in the absence of air. That is why it is called as anaerobic fermentation. And from where these enzymes are available, that is invertase and zymase. These enzymes are found in the yeast. Okay. The yeast is a powder-like material which is naturally available, and it can be seen on the outer surface of the fruits. For example, if you take a grape, on the grape as it ripens, there will be formation of yeast on that surface of the grape. When you crush the grapes, that yeast come into contact with the sugar content present within the fruit, and there initiates this process. Okay, that's why you can see the conversion of the sucrose into glucose with the action of the invertase enzyme, which is present in the yeast. And later, there is also another enzyme in this yeast, that is zymase. It converts the glucose or fructose into the ethanol. Okay, that is why in the wine industries they use grapes and crush it well, so that there is a conversion of the sucrose to the ethanol. This takes place in the absence of air. What happens if air enters into this process? Air, oxygen, it oxidizes the ethanol to the ethanoic acid, that is carboxylic acid, thereby changes the structure, functions of this compound, because of formation of the ethanoic acid, and also changes the taste. And you know that the alcohols are sour in taste. Okay, this is all about the preparation of the alcohol, that is ethanol, by anaerobic fermentation of sugar, which is present in molasses, sugarcane, and grapes. Okay, let us talk about the physical properties of this ethanol. Ethanol is a liquid at room temperature and its boiling point is 78 degrees Celsius. Okay, it is a colorless liquid whose boiling point is 78 degrees Celsius, and it is used in beverages, that is drinking purposes. Okay, yes, it has a significant odor also. Okay, and let's come to the uses of this ethanol. It is most widely used alcohol in beverages. Okay, and it is used to manufacture the sanitizers. Okay, as it kills the microorganisms. It is a very important chemical substance in our daily life also. Okay, because it acts as a microbiocidal, means it kills the microorganisms. Okay, and what are the other uses of this ethanol? It is used to prepare the aldehydes, carboxylic acid, some other important chemical substances. Okay, and the ethanol is also used as a solvent in many industries. Okay, for example, it is used as a solvent in paint industries. Okay, yes. Then here we have to discuss about a process called denaturation. Denaturation. Denaturation of alcohols. What is this denaturation of alcohol? In industries, they make the ethanol as unfit for drinking purpose. Okay, how they will make it? By adding the copper sulfate, as it imparts the color to the solvent, because it is a colorless one, no? So to give some color, they are going to add the copper sulfate. It gives the blue color. Okay, and they will add some pyridine to these alcohols. Thereby, it gives a foul smell. Okay, so what is denaturation? Making alcohol, making alcohol or ethanol. Here you may take. Okay, making alcohol or ethanol unfit for drinking. Unfit for drinking. Unfit for drinking by adding copper sulfate. It gives blue color to the solvent. It gives blue color. Okay, yes, by adding copper sulfate and pyridine. And pyridine, it gives a foul smell. It gives a foul smell. So in industries, whenever they are going to use the ethanol or some other alcohols, with that smell, they may thought of drinking the alcohol, but to avoid that, okay, they are going to add some copper sulfate to make it a other solvent. Okay, by adding the copper sulfate, it imparts blue color, and they will add pyridine. It gives a foul smell, and if a person is willing to take that alcohol also, due to the smell of the alcohol, he cannot drink. Okay, yes, this is about the. Dear students, now we shall discuss about the phenols. Phenols are also called as carbolic acid, that is LIC, carbolic acids. We have another type of a compound, it is called as carbonic acid. What is that? H2CO3. It is called as carbonic acid, NiC. You should have a clear difference between what is carbolic acid and what is carbonic acid. Okay. And here, what are phenols? Phenols are hydroxy derivatives of benzene. Let us consider the benzene. Okay. its formula is C6H6. On every carbon of the benzene, you can see the presence of hydrogen. Okay, and here the carbons in this is sp2 hybridized. Okay, this is what benzene. Okay, and here the phenols are hydroxy derivatives of benzene. If you consider any one hydrogen and replace that hydrogen with the hydroxyl group, like this. Okay, and remaining are as it is. Okay, now this is called a phenol. What is phenol? Hydroxy derivative of benzene. Are called as phenols. Okay, let's consider classification of phenols. It can be done based on the number of hydroxyl groups present. What are hydroxyl groups? It is a functional group with the formula OH. Okay, based on number of hydroxyl groups present, we can classify these into monohydric phenols, dihydric, trihydric, and polyhydric phenols. Okay, firstly we shall consider the monohydric phenols. Okay, the first one is phenol, because phenol is a monohydric. Okay, phenol. Here we shall also discuss about the nomenclature of the compounds simultaneously. Along with the classification of the compounds, we shall also consider nomenclature. Okay, yes, it is in common system we call this compound as a phenol, and it is also a preferred IUPAC name of the compound. And what is this systematic IUPAC name? See, I am telling there are two IUPAC names again. One is preferred IUPAC name and another one is systematic IUPAC name. Phenol is a common name as well as preferred IUPAC name for this compound. Now, when go according to the IUPAC rules, here word root is benzene and suffix is OL. So for hydroxyl groups we call suffix as OL. Okay, so the systematic IUPAC name for this compound is benzene. I already told you, whenever one functional group is there, you have to replace this E, benzene, and the suffix for OH is OL, benzenol. The IUPAC name is benzenol. Okay, yes, let us consider some other monohydric alcohols. For example, here let's consider the cresols, OH, CH3. It is called a cresol. And what is the position of these two? Adjacent position. The OH and CH3 groups are present on the adjacent positions. So therefore it is called as orthocresol. And in the IUPAC system, we call this as position 1, this as position 2. Okay, where the substituent is present on the second carbon. So 2-methyl is the prefix. Okay, benzenol is the word root and suffix. Okay, here you can call this as 2-methyl phenol, or 2-methyl benzenol, 2-methyl benzene 1-OL. You may call this two as IUPAC names. Okay, and what is the common name? Orthocresol. Okay, let's consider another compound, the metacresol. Okay, metacresol. This position, which is not adjacent. Okay, yes, this is called as metacresol, and its common name is metacresol and IUPAC name is, you have to give the position. The major functional group containing carbon is taking position 1 and if you go, this is 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a lengthier one. If you go in this direction, 1, 2, 3. So you have to reach the substituent group as early as possible with the lowest number. Okay, so this is the position, and here you can call this as 3-methyl phenol. 3-methyl phenol. 3-methyl phenol is the name of this compound. Okay, IUPAC name of this compound. Here we can also see another isomer of that cresol, that is paracresol. That is paracresol. Okay, let's consider the paracresol here. Okay, take the compound. Here we have OH and here we have CH3 group. This is called as paracresol and its IUPAC name is 4-methyl phenol. 4-methyl phenol. For phenol you can also call benzenol. Okay, this is all about the monohydric alcohols. What are monohydric alcohols? Sorry, this is all about the monohydric phenols. What are monohydric phenols? The phenols containing only OH group, only one OH group. Okay, yes, here first member is phenol and other we are taking the cresols. Here these cresols have isomers, that is ortho, meta, paracresols. Okay, yes, let's consider about the dihydric phenols. Let's consider about the dihydric phenols. Yes. What is dihydric phenol? A phenol which is consisting of 2 hydroxyl group. Okay, 2 hydroxyl groups. Dihydric phenols. Yes, let's take compounds. Here we can put OH group and it is also another OH group. Now this is a benzene ring containing 2 OH groups are called as dihydric phenol. Now its name is, common name is catechol. Its common name is catechol. Then what is the IUPAC name? It's very simple. Word root is benzene. Take the benzene and there are 2 OLs, so therefore we call it as diol, and it is position 1, it is position 2. Benzene 1,2 diol. Benzene 1,2 diol. Because of 2 same functional group, we are not replacing this E, we are keeping it as it is. Okay, we have to write benzene 1,2 diol. Okay, let's see another isomer of this compound. Take the benzene ring, place OH at this position and another OH at this position. Okay, now this is called as resorcinol. This is called as resorcinol. Okay, this is isomer of this. Okay, yes. Then what is the IUPAC name? This is the position 1, 2, 3. So it is benzene 1,3 diol. Benzene 1,3 diol. It has another one isomer, that is benzene, here OH and here also OH. This is called as hydroquinone. This is called as hydroquinone, or also called as quinol, in the common system. And what is the IUPAC name? Benzene 1,4 diol. Benzene 1,4 diol. See, when you observe the IUPAC name and common names, we feel easy for naming IUPAC names. Okay, because the common systems, these are fixed. In the common nomenclature, these names are fixed, you have to remember. But in the IUPAC system, you can frame your own IUPAC name accordingly the set of rules. Okay, I feel very easy for these IUPAC names. Okay, but for common names you have to remember. Catechol means yes, this is the compound. Resorcinol, this is the compound. But in IUPAC system, when you see this name benzene 1,3 diol, you can frame the structure of the compound also. Okay, that is why I tell you to remember and concentrate on the common names of the compounds. Okay, yes, this is about the isomers of dihydric phenols. Okay, yes. Let's discuss about the trihydric phenols. Okay, trihydric phenols. Trihydric phenols. Yes, the first member is pyrogalol. Pyrogalol. Now, when the OH groups are on adjacent positions in common system, we call this compound as pyrogalol. Okay. And what is the IUPAC name? It's very simple, no? It is a triol, and word root is benzene. You should retain this E, benzene. What are the position? 1, 2, 3. Benzene 1, 2, 3, triol. 1, 2, 3, triol. Okay, come to the next isomer of this compound. Take the OH group here, and give a gap and take the OH group. Okay. Now, in common system, it is called as hydroxyquinol. Okay, hydroxyquinol. Okay, it is the common name of the compound. Then, what is the IUPAC name? Okay, you have to go numbering in this way: 1, 2, 3, 4. So, it is benzene 1, 2, 4 triol. Okay, benzene 1, 2, 4 triol. Okay, and we have another isomer for this compound, that is benzene ring with OH groups, and give gap then OH, give gap then OH. Okay, this is called as fluoroglucinol in common system. Fluoroglucinol in common system. And what about IUPAC names? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The position of the functional groups are 1, 3, 5. So therefore, we can write the IUPAC name as benzene 1, 3, 5 triol. Benzene 1, 3, 5 triol. So this is all about the classification and nomenclature of the phenols. Now we shall discuss about the preparation of phenols. Here we are going to discuss about only the 4 methods. Okay, as mentioned in the syllabus of this chapter, we have to discuss about the 4 methods, and other than that we have many other methods to prepare the phenols. Okay, what are those methods? Let us go one by one. Okay, that is from haloarenes. From haloarenes. And this process is called as Dawes process. This process is called as Dawes process. Let us understand what is Dawes process. Okay, take the haloarene, for example chlorobenzene, and treat this compound with NaOH. At a high temperature, that is 623 Kelvin. Okay, you will get a sodium phenoxide. What is this called? Sodium phenoxide. This is a sodium phenoxide. Okay, and you can expect a byproduct from here. Okay, here there is a chloro. Okay, now when this chlorobenzene is treated with the sodium hydroxide, gives the sodium phenoxide, and the byproduct is HCl. I can write that here, minus HCl. Okay, now when this is acidified with the HCl, that is an acid. Okay, this is acidified with the HCl. So what you can see, the replacement of Na with hydrogen, you will get a phenol. Then what is the byproduct? NaCl. The byproduct is NaCl. So this method of preparation of phenol from haloarene is called as Dawes process. Okay, what is this method? When chlorobenzene is treated with the sodium hydroxide at high temperature, that is 623 Kelvin, you will get the sodium phenoxide. When this is acidified with HCl, you get the phenol as the compound. Okay, yes, let's go for other method. that is from benzene. From benzene. Here we are going to treat the benzene with oleum. With the oleum. Oleum is H2S2O7. Okay, it is also called as a fuming sulfuric acid. So by this you will get the benzene sulfonic acid. You will get benzene sulfonic acid. So what is this compound? Benzene sulfonic acid. Okay. Yes, when this is treated with the sodium hydroxide again. Okay. When this is firstly treated with the sodium hydroxide, gives the sodium phenoxide, that is this compound, on acidification, that is H plus, here it indicates acidification, gives the phenol as the product. Gives the phenol as the product. Gives the phenol as the product. Here one is Dawes process, another one is. Now we shall discuss about the third method. Let's consider the preparation of phenols from aniline. From aniline. Aniline is a primary aromatic amine. It is a primary aromatic amine. It is a primary aromatic amine. Okay. Yes, when this aniline, let's see the structure of aniline. When this aniline is treated with the nitrous acid. So, what is nitrous acid? HNO2. It is called as nitrous acid. It is called as nitrous acid. And how it is formed? It is formed after mixing the sodium nitrite, that is NaNO2 and HCl. After mixing these two reagents, that is NaNO2 and HCl, you will see the formation of the nitrous acid. When that acts on this aniline, it gives a benzene diazonium chloride salt. It is a very important in organic compounds. Okay, that is benzene diazonium chloride. Here we are going to get, what is that? Benzene diazonium chloride. It is a salt. It is a organic salt. Okay, it is very important in organic compounds. Okay, yes, here this N2 will be carrying the positive charge, Cl will be carrying the negative charge, that is why it is a salt. When this salt is just warmed with water, okay, when just warmed with water, it gives the phenol like this. Here OH will be present on the benzene ring. Now it is called a phenol. Along with N2 will be coming out. Okay, N2 gas will be coming out, and OH minus of this, okay, will H plus ion of this will combine with this Cl minus and forms a HCl. Okay, and OH minus of this will be present on this benzene, so it will be benzenol or phenol. So when the aniline, it is a primary aromatic amine, is treated with this mixture, nothing but this nitrous acid, gives the benzene diazonium chloride. When that is warmed with water, you will get a phenol as the product. Okay, now let us consider the fourth method of preparation of phenol, that is from cumene. From cumene. What is this cumene? Okay, in the IUPAC name we call this as propan-2-vinyl. Okay, propan-2-vinyl benzene. Okay, there is another name for this compound also, that is isopropyl benzene. Let's consider the cumene. Consider the cumene. This is that cumene. It is also called as isopropyl. Where you can see that isopropyl, this CH3 is there, no? That is isopropyl. Okay, it is a isopropyl benzene, also called as a cumene. These are the two common names of this compound. Then what is the IUPAC name? Propan-2-vinyl benzene. Benzene containing more number of carbon atoms, no? That is 6. In this chain you can see only 3. That is why this acts as a prefix. What is the prefix here? Pro for 3 carbon atoms. That second carbon is linked to the benzene. So propanyl we have to say, and position 2 is linked. So therefore I have written propan-2-vinyl and benzene as the word root. Okay, prefix is this and word root is this. Okay, yes, when this is oxidized at some 273 to 276 Kelvin, it is like almost 0 to 2 degrees Celsius. Okay, it undergo oxidation with the oxygen to give cumene hydroperoxide, like this. Okay, this we call as cumene hydroperoxide. When this is acidified, you get phenol, and the acetone as the byproduct. You get phenol and acetone as the byproduct. Okay, this is a important commercial method of preparation of phenol. It is a commercial method of preparation of phenol. See here, cumene is undergoing oxidation to give cumene hydroperoxide. When this is acidified, you will get the phenol and acetone. Means this group is coming to join here, and this goes as acetone. Okay. Yes. Let us discuss about some physical properties of phenol. Phenol is a white crystalline solid. It is a white crystalline solid. And it is volatile. Whose melting point is nearly equal to 40.5 degrees Celsius. About 40 degrees Celsius. Okay, it has some characteristic odor and it easily vaporizes. Okay, it is a volatile solid because its melting point is very less. Okay, it has a significant odor and it is soluble in water. Because it is able to make intermolecular hydrogen bonding with the water, because it makes intermolecular hydrogen bonding with water as I already told that for any compound to soluble in the water, it has to match the properties of water. What are the properties of water? That is a polar one. Okay, yes, our phenol is a polar one. When you take this phenol, this is OH. Here, oxygen is most electronegative element. It pulls bonding electrons towards itself and it is a delta minus, and it is losing the electrons, so therefore it is delta plus. Okay, and here you can see the polarity in this. Okay, when this phenol is added to water, what happens? Let's see. Okay, it is added to water. Okay, now you know that water is a polar one. This is delta minus, this is delta plus, and here these come into contact, that is phenol and water come into contact, and there is intermolecular hydrogen bonding. This is called as intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Now then we call that phenol is soluble in water. Okay, Yes. As the number of carbon atoms on this carbon, that is on this benzene, is increases, obviously the melting point also increases. Means the homologous series or the next higher members of the phenols will have higher melting points. As we discussed already, as the size of the compound increases, van der Waals forces of attraction increases, boiling point or melting point also increases.